Let's speak now to Matthew Morris from the International Committee of the Red Cross, the spokesperson for the UK and Ireland. Matthew, what extraordinary scenes in this very tragic war and conflict over the past 7 weeks following the hostage-taking and the killing of 1,200 Israelis, and then, of course, the devastation of Gaza that we saw over the last 7 weeks with the bombardment and the ground offensive, with the death toll rising in Gaza. Finally, a moment, a glimmer of hope. It was difficult not to get emotional, actually, when we saw that Red Cross convoy with children, with the elderly, come out of Gaza into Egypt.
Yes, absolutely. Good evening. The anxiety, of course, for us was building as we knew that operation was beginning today. And I saw those pictures and saw colleagues taking those 4 vehicles at Rafah crossing and through the border. So, yes, a huge relief that has happened. I can confirm that we had 4 vehicles. We had 8 ICRC staff, and included in that number was 1 doctor. And again, to confirm, 24 hostages were released as part of that convoy of vehicles. And as you say, I was just looking at some of your pictures just now, and to see some smiles, well, that's quite something. After everything, it's quite something.
It truly is. And just seeing some of those Palestinian children as well, cheering on that convoy as it left Gaza.
Really important to see this operation begin. It's going to be a multi-day operation, as has been reported widely. We expect it to go on for some days, and it also includes 2 other very significant elements. The ICRC will also be helping to transfer Palestinian prisoners from their places of detention to the West Bank, and also to get medical supplies into Gaza, because this is absolutely critical. There is this ceasefire currently ongoing, but as I think your viewers know from the recent days and weeks, the medical situation in
Matthew, apologies. I just want to just talk over these images, because we're seeing very small children, babies in the hands of adults, getting into a bus now. So these are the hostages. They've gone through their preliminary medical check. Is that correct, Matthew? Because if you could just talk over these images, we're seeing some of those hostages being escorted onto a white bus. So they have gone through their medical assessment?
So what I can confirm from our side, for the Red Cross, is that the 24 hostages were safely transferred through the Rafah border crossing and then handed over to the Israeli authorities. Now, in a standard operation, the ICRC has lots of experience over many, many years of this kind of thing, the release of people detained for a variety of reasons, including hostages. But we would normally, where we can, make some medical assessments. We would obviously check that the transfer is something that they agree with. I think in this case that was pretty much guaranteed. So we would have done what we can, but I think they were with us for a very short period of time inside Gaza and then handed over at that border crossing. So what you're seeing now, the pictures you're seeing now, are other medical authorities, doctors, nurses being able to check on their welfare. And again, as you say, it's just a relief to be able to see that this has happened safely and is ongoing.
Indeed, and we saw among them there small children in the arms of adults. I spotted a young girl being taken onto that white bus. We're looking at aerial vision. There's dozens of ambulances lined up there outside that medical facility. And as you say, they clearly went through some medical checks, and they're now being taken onto the bus to be transferred and brought back home. Their families are desperately and anxiously waiting for them. Among them, small children. We also saw a group of, I believe, Thai nationals. We also know 1 Filipina is among them as well. Is that correct, Matthew, in terms of the breakdown of who was brought out?
So in terms of ages and the nationalities, that's not something I'm able to confirm. I can confirm the 24 hostages, as you say. But again, just looking at these pictures now that you're showing, and seeing the children. We have talked so much in recent weeks about the impact of this conflict on children in Israel and children in Gaza, children who've lost their parents, lost their siblings, lost their loved ones, and not knowing what on earth is going on. And I think to be able to see this happening right now and know that it's a small number, it is a small number, but to know that some children tonight can be back in the arms of their mums and their dads, that is really quite significant. And we continue to call for more releases. All hostages need to be released, and those that are held, they need to ICRC needs to be given access to see them and check on their conditions. But yes, it is some release. It's a small number, but we hope for more in the coming days.
Indeed, and we are being told that, the bus is moving now. So clearly they're on their way back to Israel. They're going to leave Egypt and make their way back. We understand they'll be transported from these buses to helicopters by the IDF, given noise control headphones, and then brought to medical facilities in Israel for further checks.